beneath my feet, knowing I'm here to meet. Ocean's edge, it calls my name. Purpose in this life's game. Horizons line so clear. God's love brings me near. Flat earth made by him. My journey long yet thin. Purpose found in every day. Guided by his gentle sway. Mountains tallly stand.
Yo, Flavs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. It's going to be exciting because we're supposed to have people come and show us and change our mind that the Earth's flat. So it will be exciting. Anyway, we've got the boss in, Michael Khan. We've got Ryan, PJ, the Luca, and Vara. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hello.
But it's good to see you guys. Hope you guys are doing well on this enclosed stationary plane.
Groovy.
Yeah.
I'm doing well on this sphere.
Enclosed stationary plane, yeah.
The spheroid.
Enclosed stationary plane, yes.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, Baz. Sometimes the comments don't come on. Sometimes I get like when I try and comment, it comes up red saying can't connect you to chat, even though it's all.
To me, yeah.
Sometimes that happens, dude.
Wow, that's crazy. But yeah,
I'm
everybody in
doing
YouTube
well.
lands. It's good. It's good.
I'm doing
Thank
well
you,
on
everybody.
this.
Already started then.
Thank you for everybody in the YouTube lands. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate you all. While you're here, please hit the likes if you haven't already. Share the show. Really appreciate you guys. And to all the new subscribers, welcome. Thank you for coming. Got like 30 new subscribers just today, so that's a good thing.
Whoa. Nice.
Thank you guys all for joining. Appreciate you. So, Luca, I've actually got a question for you, by the way. Do you agree with Sean Hawkins that every square inch of horizontal surface is a sphere?
What? No.
What did Sean who said
The
that?
3 square inch of this.
Wow.
horizontal.
It's not a sphere. No.
Okay, I'm going to play it for you. Maybe it'll put more context here.
Can I just add the
I'm
guy the
I'm
guy's
doing
li-
great on this leaky system.
the guy's literally trying to reinvent the wheel as square.
Exactly. Listen to this, Luca, and then tell us if you agree with us.
Yeah,
Right. That doesn't say flatzoid.
but you said that the elevation. So if we have an elevation of
It says a horizontal surface. A sphere is a horizontal surface.
You get
The Earth's spherical shape is a horizontal surface.
horizontal on a ball.
sorry, what?
You get a horizontal on a ball.
Yeah, you can.
A sphere is a horizontal surface.
A sphere.
You get
The Earth's spherical shape is a horizontal surface.
The Earth's
You get
spherical
The
shape
Earth's
is a horizontal
spherical
surface.
shape is a horizontal surface.
Wow. What do you have to say about that, Luca?
I'm
The straight answer should have been Luca. He's talking crap. I mean,
yeah. I
easy.
Luca's got to tread
Well,
carefully though, hasn't he? Like he's got to tread carefully because he's like straddling both teams here.
Yes, exactly.
yes. It's more of a I horizontal means flat, so no, it's not a horizontal surface.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Horizontal is straight. It's a straight line. So no, I wouldn't agree that the Earth is a horizontal surface.
I know you wouldn't,
Because
but I mean,
it's not a straight line.
you'd agree that the statement Sean made is wrong.
Because the Earth is curved, it's not a straight. It's not a horizontal surface. So yeah,
Okay.
I agree
What's
that
up,
he's
Roger?
wrong.
And Sam, what's up, guys?
What's going? Hey, you know how they're always saying like the Earth is a globe and everything. As it turns out, it's not, man. It's flat.
What?
Yeah, man.
No ways. No,
Wow.
yeah, you serious?
No way.
This is-
Seriously?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Turns out that was all bullshit.
You're kidding.
So I did line up a video in case we don't have any people brave enough to come.
Yeah.
So
It's yeah. It's it's not. Yeah, it's not a flat horizontal surface.
no, it definitely is.
Yeah.
By
Awesome.
definition,
I disagree
Earth is
with
level.
Sean.
By definition,
there it
Earth
is right there.
level. Yeah.
There-
Look behind
There it
him.
is right there.
120,000 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Looks quite
So
flat to me.
I disagree with Sean Hawkins. Yeah,
Good.
that
Yes.
it's
That'll
horizontal.
do for me.
It's not flat or horizontal. It's not. It's not a flat or horizontal surface.
What's
It's definitely
not?
level then. Wait. Do you agree that water is level?
Then what is
Water
it?
lies level when at rest.
I agree that water seems to find its own level. Yeah,
And level means horizontal.
I've got a question for you.
level. What context are you using level in?
In the only context that it's available. No part higher,
level-
no part higher or lower than another.
Okay, so so would you agree that if the Earth is a sphere, would you agree that if the Earth is a sphere, and you take 2 points on that sphere, and both points are the same height above the sphere, would you agree that that is level?
No.
No, that's called concentric.
Yeah. Concentric.
You need, because to if it level, it has to be perpendicular to each other. All plumb lines have to be perpendicular.
An arc over an arc is not level and not parallel.
Called
It's not
concentric.
perpendicular. Yeah, it's
Concentric.
concentric, exactly.
Using the same center point. See? And there's only one point there. A line level is denoted by 2 points.
Well, Rachie did make a quick video for us actually on that. It's like 35 seconds long.
Oh my God.
And Michael, it's quite funny.
Did you ever see that show where that woman, she goes, "You are the weakest link, goodbye"?
Oh,
Oh my God, she reminds me of her, man. That voice of hers is just
You
like,
are the weakest link.
All right, well, let's
Goodbye.
see if I can-
Who says that makes me cringe just by looking at her face.
Anne Robinson.
Anne Robinson, yeah, she's like a teach. Like most of my teachers at school look like her.
Let's see if I can draw this, huh?
made my eyes poop.
We will now. Just going to quickly show you this. This is from Rachie.
Okay.
This is after the chat she had with me, because this is actually a response to you, Michael.
Response to me.
Yeah.
I went,
I'm going to make it big because there's no words.
What did you say? What did Michael say?
there.
Look at this. Shows a 90-degree. Zooms it in. Okay.
Taking photos of
Zooms
her
out.
favorite toy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Look at this. Oh, look. We see the straight graph line fits in the gap perfectly to join the black lines, which are curved weird, huh?
Mhm.
Oh, so they need that adjacent to be straight, do they?
Yes, they need the adjacent to be straight. Okay. Look at that. You can literally see it's higher there than it is there. There, look again. Higher there than it is there. He says, now
Oops.
obviously this is the same anywhere on the ball. Therefore, the line is 90 degrees perpendicular to each plumb, and because of that, it is curved.
My God.
He's a genius.
She don't
If it
know-
was
in
a
a straight
red-
line.
how is this related to me?
I don't know. She's going to put your comment up.
Because you're a genius.
Oh, my comment. Oh, nice one. Well,
It's going to... There you go. If it is a line or surface that cuts perpendicular all plumb lines, means each plumb line is 90 degrees to the line or surface. Can't happen on a globe. These people. Literally, she doesn't get how these are not perpendicular to each other.
no, they're not.
Wow.
She's
Well,
got
I see where they're going.
She's got diverging plumb bobs.
Yeah.
If that
And-
that curved globe is a line, she's got diverging plumb bobs.
But I mean, this is the issue she had when she was on my show. When I was saying you require a horizontal to have your perpendicular, to have your 90-degree, okay?
Mhm.
And this is why we were fighting for, okay, so you don't have a tangent in level. You don't have a tangent in perpendicular. So therefore, it already invalidates your globe as claiming perpendiculars or level. Didn't get that.
Yeah, in a straight line segment, it does deviate off of that, doesn't it? If it's a perfect sphere. Yeah.
On a sphere, literally every millimeter apart has a different zenith angle.
It's a perfect world, dude. I'm telling you.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
I don't understand what goes off in their heads. Honestly, I really don't.
I think this whole thing has just mentally disturbed her.
She
has become. She has.
okay.
If you guys have realized, she has become very emotional and
Yeah.
distraught since she's become a glober
Yep.
again. Have you guys realized that?
Yep.
I think it is
Yep.
mentally taxing her.
Definitely. I mean, she's definitely acting a new type of thick. She never used to be like that. She never used to be like that. The kind of people she's actually agreeing with and talking to and being buddy with, she used to call idiots in the chat. You know.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, I'm officially on the list to go to Antarctica. Duffy emailed me. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Is it on his site?
I don't think it's on the site, but he sent me an official email. So.
Look at your definition of level.
You're on
is
the
quite
list.
flawed. It's really quite flawed there. Surface or line that is perfectly horizontal and perpendicular to the force
Sean.
of gravity
Mm.
at a
What's up,
specific
Sean?
point.
How's it
First
going?
off, gravity's
Hey,
not
what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sham.
gravity's not a force, Luca. And how can you be perpendicular to a point? Because a center is a point. How do you go perpendicular to a point?
Yep. You have to have a 90 to be perpendicular.
But let's
Sorry,
see if
buddy.
I
That's
can explore this then.
somebody jerked your chain with that one, buddy.
But it's,
So- So, I guess this is Earth. Oh look, that. Oh wow, it fixed it. I didn't know it does that.
Looks like a
So-
circle to me, not Earth.
I guess this is the point. This is the center of the Earth. So,
so Sean,
that
is your wife
sounds good.
okay?
Well,
I'm asking Sean because he said he had to take his wife to.
no, she's okay.
Okay, cool.
so
Glad.
this is the
God.
center where gravity would be the. Gravity pulls everything towards the center, according to the globe Earth, right?
How's it?
That looks
how
like
can
an
you
umbrella
be-
from.
you're not answering my question, Luca. How can you be perpendicular to a point? The only thing you can do with a point is intersect it.
Now, according to level, according to your definition of level, not this one, no parts higher than the other liquids parts,
That's-
whatever.
That's
what
not my
did you say?
definition. That's Webster's definition, my friend.
What did Flatzoid say? What's the definition of level?
A horizontal
No
plane, in
part.
other words.
No part higher than the liquid.
If you have to take the word level and just boil it down to its simplest form, it just means horizontal plane.
Mhm.
So, disregarding this for a sec, just make them straight. These two lines would be level to each other, right?
Okay.
Right?
Oh, level
Is
to
that
each-
right?
Yeah.
They're parallel.
So if I draw a line like this above
Yeah.
the Earth, would that line be level to
It's
the Earth?
parallel. It's parallel with the other lines. Yeah.
But what if I draw a curved line that matches
That's
the
not a
Earth?
line. That's
Right?
an arc.
Line.
That's not a line. That's an
Oh.
arc. Now you have concentric arcs that are all based off of one point.
Would
Yeah, but
these two,
you're missing the point here. You need a perpendicular, which means it's 90-degree horizontal planes.
would these two arcs be level with each other?
No.
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 Parallel
Why?
doesn't mean level.
They're not level.
Parallel is only a synonym.
That's concentric. That's not parallel.
If
that's
these two lines are level with each other, why aren't
They're
these
not.
two lines
Because
level
it's
with
straight
each other?
lines.
Because they're arcs and they're not straight.
They're not lines.
Straight
They're
lines are
arcs.
To each
horizontal.
other. They're not parallel to each other. They're not level to each other. The two straight lines are parallel to each other. The two straight lines.
Those two arcs are parallel to each other, okay? But they're not perpendicular. It's not a horizontal, so it can't be level.
Sorry, did I say they're not parallel? Did I say that?
Yeah. No, they are parallel because I
didn't mean to say
they're
that.
both following the same curve.
They're not level. They're not level.
But parallel doesn't mean level.
No, of course not.
I mean,
So-
I can have a parallel at a 45 degree. It doesn't make it level.
Yeah, and you're deliberately ignoring perpendicular. You're deliberately ignoring the 90.
There's a big issue here, right? When I used to work on railway, there's a process called leveling, right? And if you were doing that, as what you claim, Luca, the Earth would be falling away from your railway lines.
The water on the Earth's surface would follow the curve of the Earth, right? And that would make it level, right?
It follows the curve of the Earth. Where there is no curve of the Earth, it remains. It goes level. It doesn't go, and it doesn't go on a curve without falling. Okay.
Right. Level is no point higher or lower than the other. Luca, on them arc lines, is there any point higher or lower than the other?
Well,
easy answer.
Luca.
What does
Luca.
One is higher than the other.
Luca, stop, mate. Right? Have you ever worked in construction?
No.
Right, so you're just parroting what you've heard other people say, or stupid things you've seen on Google. But if you were to go in real world and do out that involves these ideas a level, you'd soon realise that what you were trying to tell us here, it's just bunk, mate. Anybody who works in construction, I worked on railway. Anybody who works in construction knows that what level is, and it's not what you were saying it is. I'm sorry. Might be hard to accept, but it's just truth.
Actually, speaking of level, I actually asked Sean Hawkins, because he's telling me I'm wrong when I'm telling him horizontal doesn't curve. I told him, fine. How about I set up an interview on a live call with some mathematicians, just me and Sean Hawkins, and we asked them if a horizontal surface curves.
What did they do? Laugh at him?
Well, they'll definitely laugh at him. The response from him is insulting me and swearing me.
That's all he can do.
Sean has a question for you, Luca. Sean, you can talk, by the way.
No, it's not for Luca, but it's just for everybody in general. I had a question about the final experiment. Did you guys see Will Duffy on Alex Stein a couple nights back?
No.
Okay. So he went on Alex Stein and they did a short. You know how Alex Stein has multiple guests, so it was at the end of the show. And I've been as I jumped on the panel today, I've been looking for this clip for this broadcast. I think Alex actually took it down. I'm wondering if the Blaze wanted to take it down, because I was watching it live. I even gave a super chat to ask Duffy a question, and because Duffy made the claim that they're going to have a dedicated SpaceX, a dedicated satellite. What do they call them? The SpaceX
Starlink.
satellites. Starlink.
Starlink.
Duffy claimed they're going to have a dedicated Starlink for this area of Antarctica for the final experiment, so that they can broadcast live video of the experiment. And so my question was, which Alex Stein asked him on the show, which was, how in the world did you get dedicated Starlink at your disposal for this organization, for this trip?
Thought.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
You have to have quite
if you guys can find that clip at some
Yeah.
point, I can't find that clip. I think he actually took it down.
I'm going to see if I can find it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's he got the pull to get Starlink and see? This is Duffy's not behind this. Duffy's just the stooge man in front of it.
He's the puppet.
Right.
I just covered this morning. Duffy doing that. It was more about the other guy, Immoral. His name was Immoral. What a name to have, eh? Immoral. I think he was an actor, to be honest, and it was all about him getting getting married, getting Duffy to marry him. He was a flat earther who was convinced that the earth wasn't flat just because Eric Dubé said something about a possible fake sun. And if that turned him away from flat earth, then he wasn't really a flat earther in the first place. I think he was an actor.
So they've got a dedicated Starlink down there. They're doing weddings down there. I'm surprised he's not even claiming they're going down there to see Christ return.
So my question for him.
Yeah, but the thing that bothers me with that as well, why is it at the same time that all these famous people want to go down there as well?
Well, my question was, hey, if you've got a dedicated Starlink, why don't they already have broadcast 24-hour sun?
That's exactly. Why is it not doing it already?
I've said that, man. I'm like, look, we've had these people down here all this time, and for way less money than sending a couple dudes off of YouTube, you could already take somebody that works there and say, hey, dude, I'll buy you the equipment. Here's what I want you to do. Film a time lapse of a 24-hour sun. No cuts, no edits. Here you go. Here's all the stuff you need. That would only be a fraction of the cost. I'll give you, say, $10,000 to do this. That's still a drop in the bucket compared to what's being spent on this dumb shit now. You know what I mean?
I just want to say thank you for Tony for his £20 super chat. He says, the reason Rachie is arguing a point on the globe is an angle is because outside of that point is that it's flat, and she don't want to address that it's as she would have to concede it's flat. Exactly. That was what I was trying to harbor on the whole time we're chatting, and that's why she didn't want to concede that the horizontal debunks them. She didn't want to have that horizontal for the 90-degree angle.
Rich is just invoking tangent again.
Hey, guys, would you like to hear Duffy's email he wrote me? I can read it off to you.
Yeah, just
Wait,
one minute first, Roger, while we're on this. Rich is just invoking tangent again, yeah?
Yeah.
That's all she's doing, right? So if we look at celestial navigation and what Rach is claiming, your GP would not be on Earth. Game over, Rach.
Yeah. Space. Yeah.
I can't seem to find that chat with Will Duffy.
Maybe taking down a bit.
Well, who can keep track of what Duffy is doing or
saying?
That's what I was
anymore.
Trying to say. The guy's doing like a interview like every 2 days.
Well, that's what I was saying. Was I was in the live chat. He responded to my question and asked my question to Duffy for me live, and it was just a few nights ago, like 4 or 5 nights ago, and then I can't find it now. So I'm guessing the Blaze asked him to remove it.
I think it's gone. Because you don't have it on your history anymore, do you?
No, and I've looked through all of his most recent live videos on his channel, and I can't see any interview with Will Duffy on any of them.
Then it's taken off.
All right. Would you guys like to hear the email? It's kind of neat. He goes, "Hey Roger,
Tony.
Following up after our phone call, what information do you need still from me?" He didn't specify. He says, "Once you get a crowd fund set up, I will provide our channel and start promoting you. The quicker you do it, because time is running out.
Why,
Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks,
Roger?
Will.
You know what you should do? You should actually ask him to promote it already for you, so it can get more exposure, so the Globies can pay for you.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
because the
I'll go on this
Globies
channel.
want flat earthers there
Hi,
so
Kirby.
bad, so they'll be able to pay for you.
How long is it till it happens now? This like
It's December at some point in time.
Yeah, it's like
they didn't
2
give me a
months away, 2.5 months away.
2 months. Like so, time's running out where they need to like. You don't pay for this thing like day before you go.
No.
Time's running out.
You actually got a month.
Don't forget the insurance.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
sure you
yeah.
double
So that's
that.
really
Make
interesting.
sure I'm
but
the
yeah.
payout too.
But yeah, Sean, I agree. That's really odd. If he's able to have a dedicated Starlink satellite, quote unquote, then why aren't they just using that instead of trying to get people to go there? It's not going to change a thing.
In fact,
Well,
that
I
night,
saw
just coincidentally, as I jumped on the stream, my phone started updating and completely shut down. Otherwise, I would have the text that I sent, the date of it that I sent to Jaron that night. Because after the show, I started thinking to myself, I was like, wait, does Jaron know? If Jaron's still going to go on this thing, does he know that they have a dedicated Starlink that they're going to be able to broadcast? Because I haven't heard Jaron talk about that. I haven't heard Duffy talk about that before now.
Nobody. This is the first time I've heard about it.
Yep,
So
first I've heard of it.
I still haven't heard back from Jaron. I asked him. I said, "Hey, were you aware that Duffy's claiming he has a dedicated Starlink to broadcast from down there?" I haven't heard back from him, but once my phone finishes updating and resets, I'll have the date of the show.
Yeah. Because you should be able to show under your history of the super chat, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, hang on. Let me go look for that then in my studio. I forgot about that.
You should be able to find the history of that.
That's how I first got hold of Duffy, the same way sending him a super chat on autodidactic, and he actually that's how he got a hold of me. It's really weird.
Now
cool.
where do you think I would find that in my studio?
In your
Because I
studio,
know you can
studio.
do the super chats that we get, but what about the super chats I pay someone?
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm gonna try and see if I can find a way in studio. Yeah.
I mean, I know you get your receipts for your super chats. I don't know if you can get back what they said or anything.
Yeah.
Well, regarding Jaronism, I'm not sure if Sean is aware of all the exposed videos that have been made of him, like everything he's saying about regarding the final experiment. Now he's convinced that if he sees a 24-hour sun, that the Earth can't be flat, and that's his stance.
Yeah, he's one step from being a Globie, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you see,
don't be surprised if you get ignored, because
you see, all I really find as well is just the supers that sent to me, not that I would be able to send out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for my receipts also. Yeah, I mean, hey, if Jaron changes his mind, that's up to him. You know, he's on his own journey. I'm just gonna continue.
We can only pray for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll just continue to love him and try to, hopefully he comes to the truth, because he's clearly searching for
But
the
he's
truth.
not that stupid. That's the thing.
I'll tell you a problem with Jaron, right? He slags God off, and I'm afraid God's adding in his heart.
That's his problem.
He's laying Jaron up for a serious deception.
I mean, same things like me and my wife will pray to Satan for whatever. I mean, it's not even a funny joke. It's not even a funny joke.
Man, I don't even know what the receipts for super chats look like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get them. Believe me, I know what they look like.
Well, what's
you get them in an email. You get them in an email. You go to your
emails.
What's the subject of the email?
It's YouTube email.
It's YouTube. YouTube or Google.
It should be under social. It should show under social.
Yeah. Whatever email you use for YouTube.
Yeah, whatever email you use for YouTube to open your account in YouTube, that one.
Yeah, but you guys don't understand how many emails I get.
Yeah, I do.
I've got to search through. I can't just.
Let me just see what mine.
You can just go up to the top of your email in the search and type in YouTube. It'll bring up everything.
Hey,
That's
Sean,
what I'm trying to do. It's not doing that.
Can you see that right there? Can you make that up on my
Yeah,
camera?
you're mirrored. You're mirrored.
Okay.
You're mirrored.
It just says red YouTube, and it'll have like the name of a person or the site you're on. and
Uh,
yeah, and it also has the alerts that mixed in with them. So for my next chat, who's got this out and the other.
YouTube soup. Right, yeah, YouTube. Right, it says for order placed, like yeah, it just says your YouTuber super thanks. That's what it's called. Your YouTuber super thanks. Try typing that in.
Yeah, I found it now. Here it is. Yeah, it was on it was 10 days ago on October 7th.
There you go.
And it says it was to Primetime Alex Stein, Primetime with Alex Stein. It's even got a hyperlink to his channel.
Yeah.
So you know which channel it is.
Boy.
Yeah, they must have taken it down then. That's crazy, yo.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they definitely didn't want something to go out to people.
Gosh.
Or maybe Duffy told him to take it down because he realized he lied about the Starlink thing. I don't know.
Or that.
That just doesn't make any sense to me. How do you have access to a Starlink?
Duffy lied? No, never.
Nah,
He hasn't lied from day one, has he? No.
No.
Well, to me, if you had that would be what you lead with, right? If you had access to Starlink, you would.
Should I maybe try to contact Elon Musk and ask him, "Hey, what's up, bro? Fellow South African here. How am I able to get a private Starlink satellite? Because I heard my my one friend could do it, so can I do it as well?"
Yeah, right.
I mean, isn't that controlled by the military?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the
If
United
you got
States
the
has
money, honey, they got the time.
Because to do something like that, you have to really have contacts.
Yeah, but break it down even more, right? To have a Starlink continuously over Antarctica takes more than one Starlink because they're all constantly moving.
It's a train, yeah.
Right.
It's government style, you know.
Which I didn't think his comment made any sense to say, "Oh, we have access to a Starlink."
Yeah, it doesn't.
That they're going to set apart for us so we can use for this trip. What?
That'd imply that Starlink's like geosynchronous and
Yeah,
they're not.
I think it's called Starlink for a reason. I mean, they probably work together, don't they? These satellites.
Well, you heard what David Weiss said about Starlink. It's basically airplanes. So
Yeah.
there's an airplane there. Yeah.
Well, can't you remember Google Loon claimed the exact
Yeah.
same thing that Starlink does?
Yeah, Google Loon was, and that's been ages exactly.
They even used to launch same amount of Google Loon balloons as Starlinks.
Well, I ended up spending the morning over in Discord with Nathan and the panel over there. It was fun.
Yeah.
And by the way, they gave high praise to PJ, and he
Did they?
mentioned you like 4 or 5 times, and he mentioned when he came into the stream over there with us.
Yeah, well, I appreciate his advice anyway. Obviously, you know what I mean. Absolutely, I'm open to correction all the time. God. Fair play to him. I'll thank him tomorrow on my stream.
Yeah.
You're going to get more subs, dude. So I'm saying.
Yeah.
PJ's streams are mint.
Mm-hmm. I told you, PJ, you might as well have a 24-hour stream because you're always online.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking on Alex Stein's channel. He's got a stream from 13 days ago and then a stream from 8 days ago. There's a gap.
Yeah.
Missing.
Yeah, I was also looking there. It's like it doesn't show nothing.
The 10 days ago, which would have been the 7th,
gone.
that's missing.
Yeah, it's gone. No, it's definitely taken off, especially because it's not showing under your history. That means it's gone.
Well, unfortunately, I've got so much history between 10 days ago on YouTube. That would be like needle in a haystack. Because sometimes I fall asleep listening to something, and then it starts just auto-playing.
And plays other
Yeah,
things.
it just plays like hundreds of videos.
Do you always wake up to NASA videos, Sean?
Yeah, right.
That's the thing that happens to me.
I wake up to movies from the 80s auto-play.
Every morning and every evening.
I always somehow, if let's say if we go like to the mall or something, and I put
Super
my
chat.
wife's account on just to go through my stream. When I come back, the stream's done, and then NASA's online every single time.
Yeah,
either NASA or GTA Online. People are
Always.
GTA Online, GTA 5 Online or NASA.
Tony Whitcomb, thank you for £5 says, why did YouTube stop the live chat replay? Are they going backwards in technology, just like the moon landing's gone? The thing is, it gives you
they
an
do have
option to click it, and I do click live replay, and it's
chat
I click it
replays on last night's stream. I've been watching it today.
Okay, so it is there.
Yeah, it takes a while
Yeah, it's
for it
been
to
there.
come
Yeah,
back
it
up.
doesn't always upload straight away, does it? It takes a
No,
while.
because what happens when your stream finishes, people are still watching it from the
Yeah, they
start.
are, yeah.
So there's still the stream's still going. So until
Yeah.
that last person's out, it won't put it back up as a replay.
I actually was in the meetings in Lighthouse when they were dealing with this because they have live chat replay on their site as well. So it takes time for that to actually process in the back end before it can be reloaded and seen. Sometimes it can take up to half a day for the live chat replay.
Let's see. David Banner asks, Flats and Panel, have you seen The Passion of the Christ and is it a true portrayal? Yes, definitely seen Passion of the Christ a few times.
Yeah.
Not
I
really
haven't.
100% accurate though.
The first time I watched that film, I weren't a believer, and it made me cry.
It's emotional, but it's not 100% accurate though.
No film will like accurately cover it. No
but
film.
it's good. I'm interested to see the follow-up one though. I think it's gonna have a bit of a
Is there gonna be
difficult
one?
things
Right?
to
It's just
accept.
like a dangling carrot, like because it's been coming for years now. Like no.
Yeah, apparently it's supposed to come out next year. I think.
Is the second one going to be done by Mel Gibson? The same.
Yeah.
I figure.
I thought it would be good to have that. Do it with Michael Bay, right? This summer, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Jesus is back and he's pissed. Take that, Caiaphas. He's got like a crucifix machine gun. He's taking out the Pharisees.
I think
he breaks out the machine gun, and on the side it says the whip.
Nice. Yeah, I did learn something today on the panel though over there. That ether is nothing after like 2 hours. There is nothing there.
This is how I roll. I don't care whether you believe in it or you don't. Like I don't even care about ether. Like care about Christ, me.
I don't think there's any evidence for ether. I mean, I don't know. There might be, but
If I had to believe in the ether, which I always did believe it this way, was like spiritual. God's omnipresence. That's how I would believe the ether to be, but not as what. I don't know, a natural
It's got like a new agey twist to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a gravity type thing, but it's it's something you can't prove, but you think's there. Like they always say there's gravity's there. It's a force. It's not a force, but it acts as a force. But we can't prove it.
It used to be in the table of elements, and it was also considered one of the fundamental elements of creation, along with fire, water, earth, air, and ether.
Yeah.
Which was the fifth element.
Yeah.
The fifth element.
But a question, Dave, how do we know this? You
can look back at old periodic tables of the elements, old alchemy texts and shit where they have it listed as one of the elementals.
If you could show me a physical old book that had it in, then fair enough. But if it's people finding things online that claim to be old, I'm tempted not to believe it.
I've got a number of PDFs that are old writings and shit.
But that's what I mean. I want to see a physical book because I believe
that's hard to get a hold of. Well, actually, I've got it in a lot of these documents before AI was actually a thing.
But how long's AI been going, really? Though that's the question.
Right.
I'm trying to reference it in the Bible, but I haven't found it anywhere in here. So
I put it in the category of could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just find that a lot of things that people find like digital books and all turn up at this point in time. You know what I mean? It's like all this mud flood business just turns up all of a sudden, and they're downloading digital copies of books and making stories from pictures that they see in these books. And
Shiro, how do we know Jesus ever existed? There's a lot of evidence that Jesus existed.
I know.
Many manuscripts, many archaeological finds, testimonies. Yes, Jesus definitely existed.
Toshiro, you keep saying this is every time you come in. Every time you come in, it's the same crap.
this is though. It's as interesting that this whole digital age is a modern book burning, and it's interesting that the first book reader, digital book reader that they came out with that you could get was called what? A Kindle.
It was.
Kindling. What? And their little logo is a fire, like kindling. And yeah, it was the start of modern book burning. And just like in the 1984, the Ministry of Truth can change reality with the key stroke of a key.
Exactly. Yeah. Can I answer to Shiro though, since as he's directed it at me?
He did direct it at you.
I know Jesus existed because I've had a personal experience with him.
I was there when it happened.
Yeah.
Well, I was there when I got saved.
Nice. That it's your own personal relationship, yeah.
Exactly.
It's a silly question, like it really is a silly question.
But
like,
man,
you're just here bumming for Jaren, though, aren't you? Like,
questions.
Well, I've got a question there, which is really funny though. I heard Sean Hawkins as well claiming that the Christians burnt down the Library of Alexandria, and that's why there's no documentation of Aristophanes. And then I looked it up, and I just want to find out, 48 BCE, is that before Christ or after Christ, guys?
Well, BC, let me
tend
look
to
that
think
up.
BC,
Weird.
Just a tick
So
before.
how did the Christians burn down a library if there was no such thing as a Christian yet?
That's a good question.
They used the chronovisor.
Because last time I checked, Julius Caesar was blamed for that, and I don't think Julius Caesar was a Christian, was he?
No.
No.
why do they even use the term BC? Like, if Christ never
Before
existed,
Christ.
Why are we using that term then before Christ if it never existed?
Exactly.
What's that to Toshiro?
I mean, that's silly in itself, isn't it?
Listen, this is why they've changed it to be BCE. Okay, before the Common Era. That's what they're using that for now. I've seen that change come about. In fact, one of the ones that organizations I saw start using that, to my knowledge, first was the Jehovah's Witnesses.
It does say the Christians did burn down the library, though. I just read it. So.
How did Christians burn on a library before Christ even came?
Weird.
Yep, that's a good question, but it says it. It does.
Well, Wikipedia also tell you that air pressure is the weight of the air pushing down on you. They will. I looked that up when I was like, "This is."
And that a man can get pregnant.
Oh, Wikipedia also tells you the shape of Earth science, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men can get pregnant. Females can be dads. All that kind of stuff.
No, it definitely says Julius Caesar during his civil war, 48 BCE, but it's unclear how much was actually destroyed.
BC.
Definitely says Julius Caesar.
Wait, was Julius Caesar a Christian? No way.
Most explicit is Plutarch, who, after the personal visit to Alexandria, explained that Julius Caesar was forced to repel the danger in using a fire which spread from the dockyards and destroyed the Great Library in 48 BCE.
Was that Alexandria?
Yeah, the Library of Alexandria.
Okay.
Yeah, the first paragraph does say Julius Caesar at the top of it in 48 BC. But I was looking at the
most
first
likely,
century.
librarian was smoking, isn't it? That's what's most likely.
But I think
kids smoking weed in the back bookshelves back there causing shit on fire is what happened.
Well, I'm definitely smoking it, but.
So structure in Alexandria was made of what? Are we thinking that it was made of papyrus or was it made of stone?
Wood. It was wood, yeah. Bamboo.
Just a big wooden building?
Yeah.
Because they used a lot of
That's
wooden
what I don't
construction.
understand about that shit. Like these stone built, like the Crystal Palace that they built. They said for this big thing with all these panes of glass and shit and steel girder construction, it burnt down. And I'm like, how in the hell does a steel and glass building burn down? That don't make any sense to me, man.
No, it doesn't.
Take example from the Vatican. They got 25 or like 30 shelf miles of books underground.
That's where everything
Like
from
rock.
Alexandria went, man.
Yeah.
The Louvre, where they flushed it all.
They
Yeah,
burned
what,
it. It
what
didn't
I was looking
burn.
at it was Theophilus, I think, in the 4th century CE. The Christians destroyed the rest of what was in Alexandria, so large portions of it. Yeah,
How dare them?
I know.
Dirty bastards.
Well, they were pagan. That's why they killed them.
But the reason this whole argument came up in the first instance was because he claimed there
Church
is
was
no
oppressing
evidence
them.
Jesus ever existed. He said there's more evidence for Aristotle. Aristophanes.
Oh boy, Aristophanes. It sounds like a damn sneeze.
We got to look that up.
Aaron, crusty knees.
Rusty knees.
David
How do you
Benoit,
spell that?
Panel, what's your thoughts on the Book of Enoch?
I'll answer.
I like the Book of Enoch.
I'll
I
answer.
think
I'll answer. Don't go to that before you've read Bible.
I would agree with that. I would say it's more for advanced. Once you've gone through the Bible, then I would say go get Enoch and Jubilees and Josh and all of that because it's definitely a good thing to do. Go through if you understand what the Bible is saying and going through it. Yeah. But if you're just a baby Christian, as you put it, I don't think it's something you should really look into yet because it might just confuse you a bit.
Get all the books. Read all of them.
Most people,
read all about it.
Educate yourself.
Most people that get the Bible went to go straight to Revelation, like I did, like Michael.
I love Revelation.
But when you first start the Bible, it can be a bit scary. But most people want to know the end, so they go straight to Revelation. I want to advise.
Right in Bible, it tells you all Scripture is profitable. Yeah.
Good.
Enoch's
You can get this. You can get this online, right here, and it's probably like only I think 20
Enoch's
bucks.
quoted from, Jasher's quoted, so I'm not saying that you shouldn't read them, but I would read Bible first.
Well, I have to say, Sean's been doing a cool thing on Jubilees lately.
Well, if they were in the Bible, then why wouldn't that be part of the Bible anyway?
Well, you have to research the history of our Bibles and how it's been changed. So there's different Christian communities throughout history that have had different collections.
Yeah.
So men decided this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Men decided canon. Definitely.
Well, that's faulty, isn't it? That's a way to screw things up.
Well, I mean, that's the sad reality of it. There was no angel from God. God himself did not come down and say, these are the books that you're to consider the Bible. They just had, in the past, they used to call them sacred writings. And so this is where they had collections of sacred writings based off of certain qualifiers. And those qualifiers are very simple. Was it from an established prophet or priest or an apostle or someone that basically was a scribe of a prophet or priest, because that was their job, was to record the details. And so that's where, like, most people don't realize most of the Old Testament was written by Baruch, the scribe of Jeremiah, the latter portion of the Old Testament. And then all of the Old Testament was re-scribed by Ezra in the late 5th century or 4th century BC, the high priest and prophet Ezra, because all of the previous scrolls had been destroyed from the Babylonian invasions. And so Ezra and a whole bunch of them, they came in and re-scribed all the copies. That's why the remaining collections of First Enoch are only fragments. So we don't have the full writings of what used to be Enoch. And so so anyway, I've done lots of research on all these apocryphal books. We actually have a whole show on it on my channel. It's called Honor of Kings. We're on season 4 now. And we go into the manuscript history. We go into the church council history. We go into the actual book itself. What is it claiming? Does it match up with the canon of 66 that we have today? And a lot of people don't even realize the modern Bible we have today used to be 80 books, but it got about 120 years ago, it got reduced down to 66.
Yeah, I think the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible still has 80 books, right?
Well, they got like 91 books.
91.
Including Enoch and Jubilees. Now, what's interesting about, there's 3 books that have this unique historical mystery around them about why they've been suppressed so much, and that's First Enoch, Jubilees, and the Testament of the Patriarchs. And those books were specifically targeted by the Pharisee Rabbi Akiva in the 1st century AD as he wanted to remove them from the Jewish canon, because he actually threatened people, you won't have any share in the resurrection if you read these books, which is like your typical, prick move, you know what I mean? Like your typical religious move. It's like, he's like, before Catholics were Catholics, he was being a Catholic. So like, basically he was the great reformer of Judaism, or that's what they called him. And he's really highly regarded in Judaism as this incredible philosopher and reformer of their practice. And that was one of the things he did, was he created what they called a closed canon, and he removed specific books he didn't want in the Jewish canon. So then he considered it closed. And this was toward the end of the 1st century AD, as they were also kicking Christians out of the Jewish synagogues because they didn't want to associate with Christians anymore. Anyone that believed in Christ, you couldn't come to the synagogues anymore. And so that was we already see inklings of that happening in the book of John. It talks about that in the book of John, but like it actually got finalized towards the end of the 1st century as Christians started getting persecuted more and more. And so as a result of that, they also removed the books that supported prophecies of Christ. And that's where the Testament of the Patriarchs and First Enoch comes in. So we actually have documentation of this in the 2nd century, about 50 years later, from Justin Martyr, in this book called Dialogue with Trypho, where he's the whole book is Justin Martyr talking with a Jewish rabbi. And he's basically telling the Jewish rabbi, I have the older Greek scrolls, which they call the Septuagint. He's like, I have the older scrolls, and I know that your leaders are creating new edited scrolls to hide Christ. So this is why there was multiple Septuagints created in the 1st and 2nd century AD, many of them commissioned by Judaism, because they didn't like how the prophecies are correct. Like, this is why people were coming to Christ in droves, because he fulfilled all the prophecies. So it was easy for the apostles to go around and say, look, this is what the scrolls of Isaiah and Jeremiah have said. Christ did it. We're living testimony of Christ being here and doing this. Believe, put your faith in Christ. Like, he's the Messiah that was sent for us. It was promised. He's our high priest in heaven's temple. Like, he's the one that can give you eternal life. And people were just coming to faith. And this was like a serious threat to Judaism. So this is why Judaism had synagogues all throughout the Middle East. This is why, like, when you see in the book of Acts, when they're in actual Macedonia and Greece, like when they're in Athens in Acts 17, the disciples go to the synagogue. Like, why is there a Jewish synagogue next to the temple of Athena in Greece? Well, it's because they were everywhere. So, like, from the previous 300 years before Christ showed up, like the Jews, they started setting up these synagogues for their practice and faith all over the Middle East and all over northern Africa. And so this is why you have this setting by the time you get to the Gospels of the apostles, like, everywhere they're going, trying to share Christ with people. You have the party of the Pharisees, the party of circumcision, following them around, trying to steal their converts and create division and discord, because they were basically, it was like turf warfare. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Christians were taking over converts from people that had formerly been interested in God through learning about it through Judaism. But since Judaism, as a people and as a leadership, they rejected Christ, regardless of any of the miracles, regardless of what he taught from the law and the prophets. Because remember, Christ claimed that they were discarding the law and the prophets to teach their own traditions. So they obviously rejected Christ for all these biased reasons, had him appeal to the Romans to have him killed. And then afterwards, they're still trying to suppress any mention of Christ and any of his disciples. And a part of that was removing the books and even editing some of their most prized prophets, like Jeremiah and Ezra. Like Isaiah and Jeremiah. So, like, Justin Martyr is quoting in his writing in the 2nd century AD a prophecy from the book of Jeremiah that we don't have anymore. And it's a very specific prophecy that talks about the Lord will send his son, put your faith in his son. Like, that's like super specific, right? And Justin Martyr's quoting this, and he's saying, where is this? I see that you're taking this out of the new edited scrolls that you're passing around. And so there's been a long-standing history of suppression. And if you guys have never read the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, it's an incredible book, guys. Lots of prophecies about Christ. And this was common sacred writings first century Israelites had to pass around, to talk, to discuss. They didn't, what we call canon today, like, they didn't have the same mindset. You know, they didn't think that there was some, like in America anyway, we have preachers that have for decades been preaching this concept of like the pure and undefiled word of God. Like it's perfect, it's been perfectly preserved, and specifically in the KJV, and you're just like, bro, they didn't speak the King James English, you know, back in first century AD. Like, what are you talking about? So it's a very interesting paradigm in modernity where people think that we have this complete collection of the Bible, but like if you just take an airplane ride and you go over to Greece, the people in Greece today have a Septuagint with different books in it. You know, like I've interviewed them on my channel. If you go to Africa and you want to go to an Ethiopian Orthodox church, they have a full-on Bible with different Old Testament and New Testament books in it. Now, here's the problem. Here's the thing. Like, it doesn't change the story. All the, you know, like all the, I've done full, like I've literally written a commentary on First Enoch. All the prophecies in First Enoch, like this, the same stuff talked about in the Canon 66. Like, it doesn't change the story. It's just more. It's just more prophecies of stuff. So anyway, if you, I mean, I wouldn't shy anyone away from trying to study these things. Just obviously, I would highly encourage becoming familiar with the Bible we do have as a good litmus test, you know, so you can bounce it off of it. And one thing I have found, just as because we've done some shows where we didn't agree with some books because their theology teaching stuff is very different from what the Bible says. And one of those is a big disappointer for a lot of people, and it's the Book of Jasher. And we actually did some manuscript history on the Book of Jasher, and we don't think it's the Book of Jasher that's mentioned in Joshua. The current Book of Jasher that we have today is actually traced back to like the 4th century Talmud. So it's like a piece of the Talmud as far as one of their sages writing a story, but it's not. There's a lot of contradictions theologically in the current Book of Jasher we have, and we don't think that it's actually the one mentioned in Joshua.
Interesting.
So, okay, hey guys, I'm sorry to talk too much. I actually have to jump off.
But it was interesting. Good information.
Yeah, I just want to jump on and ask you guys.
I was just going to say, carry on talking like I'm loving
it. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you guys can check that out if you want to. It's called Honor of Kings.
Honor of Kings.
I've heard of that Patriarchs.
Yeah, that's my job.
Definitely.
Yeah. The Testament of 12 Patriarchs will blow your mind. In fact, the only canon that was included in was the 14th century Armenian canon, and they viewed it as scripture. It's also many of the Testament of 12 Patriarch portions are found in the Dead Sea Scrolls as well, but the complete collection was preserved and by the Armenians from the Syriac. So anyway, there's a long history there, but I got to jump off. Bless you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Later, Sean.
See you tomorrow, Keith.
Just
I want to address LJ. This guy loves trading. No, he don't. We'll let him talk because we're interested in what he's got to say. Like that, that is your opinion, not ours.
Yeah, LJ, man.
I just want to say
thank you. It's brilliant, dude. We're interested in what Kingdom's got.
I just want to say thank you, LJ, for the $2 super chat. It says, Flatzoid, react to the guy in my previous chat. Yeah, he's talking about some guy that says he woke up in 2027, apparently, and no people are...
Oh, is that? Yeah, that's what I thought he was talking about. I was like, what?
But thank you very much for the super chat, LJ. You rock, man. But yeah, tomorrow night I am going to have just about an hour stream. And then I'll go on to Kingdom in Context by Sean. We're going to be chatting about the Trinity. So that's going to be an exciting chat because I am a Trinitarian. He's not. So
I am also.
Me too.
I'm feeling some triggering going to happen.
No. Look, me and Sean, although we disagree with each other, we know we can at least...
What you've got is two polite guys who I'm pretty sure that it's not going to get nasty. I'm pretty sure.
No, we love each
other.
Be
mature about it, yeah.
If I were going to talk to Sean regarding Trinity, I can't help myself. I get triggered. So I won't be able to do it,
But no, I think Sean's an awesome guy, and I do really appreciate all the work that he does put in, because he does do a lot of research and stuff to put stuff. So,
absolutely.
Sean's awesome. If you guys haven't subscribed to Sean, I highly suggest you do.
We had some guy in chat saying, what channel has this guy got talking about all these manuscripts? It's like
Sean equal to NASA. Come on, man.
Hey, a wise man is defined by what he says, bro. Like, if he sounds like he's a book, then maybe that's because he's been reading.
Well, people just won't let you talk, will they?
So yeah, yeah, tomorrow night, then Sean at 10 o'clock Central African time on his channel. I'll definitely put it on my channel later on. I'll still be streaming tomorrow before that. And then Sunday, Sergio's coming to present again, trying to show the fourth season. Wow, okay.
Here we go.
And then Monday, it's Vara again with the
Okay.
Flatback Challenge.
There you are.
Every place in the world is empty at some point or another.
That is enjoyable on Sundays. That's food.
I enjoyed, yeah. What's up, Vara? What'd you say?
No, I sent you a message on Skype. I was supposed to go on a trip, but it got cancelled. So I said,
because I
Sunday
already
can be on as usual, but if you already scheduled it,
I already put Sergio in
yeah,
Sunday.
cool. We
So
can do
Monday it is then. But think about it, now it's 2 times next week.
Nice.
Monday and Sunday.
Are you guys interested in a live meteor shower? Is one happening in Tokyo right now? I got a live feed of it. You want to watch it?
Go for it.
But yeah, guys, notice how we're not really getting any globies to present.
We're past that.
Guys, yeah.
Right? Who cares about globe?
Hello.
Bunk.
Yeah. I did
Globes
actually get
globes
a
and
video
has
up.
been.
I did get a video up that we should take about an hour to get through. It's only 15 minutes long.
Shank the
How
globe.
about?
Shank the globe. Shank it.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go. There it is, guys. Live meteor shower.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
This is why Globers don't like us talking about the things we've just been talking about, because it's like we're not talking about the globe. Yeah, 'cause it's bunk. Like, we don't need to talk about it really.
I know.
I'll take it off.
It's been shanked. It's been deflated. You know what I mean? It's done.
No.
Yes. Absolutely done.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen, it's got to the point now where Globers are the ones that are getting teased and mocked and shit on social media.
Blown up like a balloon.
About damn time, isn't it?
But I mean, how would you expect to take someone seriously when these days they say things like horizontal surface means curved, or
That's the dumbest shit.
Well, you have to
or
weed
nobody
those ones
thinks
out, right?
the horizon is Earth curve. Idiotic stuff like that. I mean,
Globers, right? Like, they think that they're right smart and they're right clever and they're mocking us, but they're really not. Like, we're laughing at them all the time. Like, for instance, I posted a video I took filming sun with solar filter last year, and I had this idiot in my comment section saying, "Oh, it seems that you're using some kind of filter." I'm like, "Yeah, mate. I stated in the video at the beginning that I was filming with a solar filter." You know what I mean? It's like, are these people for real, really?
They just can't wait to say something shitty. That's all people want to do, is they just want to say something shitty.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll laugh at them.
I just say Slip Radars in chat. I ain't seen him for ages.
I ain't
man.
seen him for a while. Right?
Good to see you, Slip.
It's good to see you, mate. Okay.
Slip's a glober, and I like him.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
You guys ready to watch this?
Yeah, man.
How the math that proves the Earth isn't flat.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nice.
Okay.
This video is sponsored by Brilliant.
Okay, no.
About 2,000 years ago, Eratosthenes made a very accurate calculation for the circumference of the Earth.
Okay, wait.
We didn't.
Remember we talked about this earlier. How do we know Eratosthenes even existed? There's no documentation this guy existed. He's literally just a myth.
Nobody except Nephilim had a head like that. Nobody.
I do like though that he claims that the guy knows the difference between measurement and calculation, because he did say calculated now, not measured. So that's a good start there.
You would have to have the measurement to do the calculation, right?
Yeah, but those measurements are usually taken over a flat plane.
Between
So
two
in other
cities.
words, you're measuring a flat Earth and then calculating your globe based on a flat Earth measurement.
No, but the thing is, like, this is the story. He measured with 2 sticks on the ground to know the entire circumference of the Earth. No, man, it's just 2 sticks between 2 cities. It's a very small area.
But that doesn't make sense though, because even if it's small on a globe, a millimeter apart is a different plumb line. So you can't take what he's doing 500 stadia or whatever away, which is what, 900 kilometers. That's definitely got a lot of curve to it on their ball, and they're using it as a flat baseline.
He had read that in Syene, Egypt, during the summer solstice at noon, vertical objects did not cast
Oh,
shadows.
he read that happens. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Can I just make a comment? Right. Anybody who believes that these time travel videos, I've seen it, and they're very good hoaxes. Like, but if you believe that shit, you've still got some boltard in you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can't believe.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You can't believe in time travel, dude. You can't try travel through something that
Time is
doesn't
just,
exist.
yeah. Time is a man-made concept. There's no such thing as time travel.
No.
We are all bound in this system, right? The only one outside of time, as we call it, is God.
Yeah. And as Stov always says, there's never the past, never the future. There's only just now.
Now.
Always.
Perpetual
Just
now.
Yeah, that's why I laugh when Globers try and claim science. Oh, we are independent variables time.
Einstein says there's many times, not just one time.
The closest you get to time travel is memory, nostalgia.
Yeah, but think
The only many
about it
times
this
you've got
way.
VAR is free watchers all telling you a different time.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it this way: you can only use time as a control. You can't use it as an independent variable because science is supposed to be repeatable. You can't go back to that exact time that someone did that. It's
Exactly.
past. It's gone. So when they're doing the experiment again, it's past. You can't repeat that experiment. So it's not science.
Well, in the ultimate clock entropy?
So what is it? Waiting is an independent variable. Variable. Not a variable, a variable.
Entropy debunks using that as an independent variable.
Of course. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
As in the sun was directly overhead, which is because that city is right by the Tropic of Cancer. But in Alexandria, he noticed on that day that vertical objects did cast shadows at roughly 7.2 degrees, which is this angle here.
Oh.
Now, he assumed the Earth was a sphere, and also...
He assumed the Earth was a sphere.
Yeah. And see where he's measuring from, right? The center of the Earth to the...
How's angled again?
Yep.
Well, he's measuring, you mean calculate. You mean calculate.
The only way they can get an angle. The only way they can get an angle on a globe.
A piece of the pie, yep. There you go.
But don't you find it odd though that everything that the globe ever presents is always assuming?
Mm-hmm.
Let me assume a sphere.
Yeah.
So
there's always if the Earth is a sphere. And I'm like, if a bullfrog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass when he jumped.
Well, Saab, if you want in one hand and you crap in the other,
Yeah.
But I mean, this comes back to again.
Which one gets full faster?
This comes back again to that circular reasoning. They assume a globe, they make a measurement of a flat Earth, calculate their assumed globe radius, therefore it's a globe. No.
It's always going to work for them because they assume it fast.
You can take that measurement and calculate a square Earth if you wanted to, or a triangle Earth if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Does that now prove a triangle Earth or a square Earth? No, you calculate it based on your belief.
What they do is say, I'm going to try and prove a globe. I'll get this globe, and if I do this, then it's a globe. It's like
it's just a circular reasoning.
You're on about, mate.
And affirming the concept.
That reminds me, 10th Man's doing a presentation on Chinese celestial navigation, and they're using a rectangle Earth, and they actually did perfect with it. They navigated the oceans forever with a rectangular Earth. It's kind of strange.
Toilet roll Earth, guys.
With that, you should mention Dent, man. I was looking through some of his YouTube the other day. I mean, he hasn't done anything for years, but he's got some decent videos there. He's got a few decent videos.
Yeah, he's had a tough time lately, so I
Yeah, he
understand
has.
why.
I'm gonna go now, guys.
All right, dude.
Says
Luca,
Luca.
where are you
Yeah,
going?
yeah, Luca. I know it's tough to accept the globe's wrong, man, but get
No,
moving.
no. It's tough to have conjunctivitis.
Man, I hope you get better soon.
Yeah.
What?
Especially where you've got
might-
it. It's not meant
Yeah,
to
pink eye.
That's pink eye.
I might
That comes,
do,
you know, that comes from playing with your phone on the toilet, man. Quit that.
It comes from rubbing your eyes. I
Yeah.
guess.
Poop on your fingers.
It's come from
I might do a simple
Rubbing.
cooking video today. Well,
Wash your
Are you
hands.
making ramen again? Yeah.
with conjunctivitis. Make sure you wear make sure you wear a double eye patch then, so it doesn't get into the food.
And wash
Yeah.
your hands before you cook.
yeah. All right, see you guys.
He said yeah to that.
Luca, get
Wear
better
a
soon.
double eye patch and see, you know.
See ya, bye.
I just want to read my favourite baller's comment. Slip. As far as I know, when two sticks are measured over an accurately measured curve or sphere, the shadow's position parallel.
So therefore, it can't be the claimed measurement that they claim because it wasn't parallel. Because he measured a shadow in Alexandria and a no shadow claimed in Cyrene. So they're not parallel.
Uh-huh.
Also, the sun is very far away
Isn't it?
compared to the size of the Earth,
Isn't
and that would mean that the sun rays are parallel.
Well, that's an assumption that it's far away and compared to the Earth and big
No, he
and all
said
that.
that. He
Where
said
did you get all those assumptions from?
And the sun's rays are parallel. Last time I checked, if something is diverging, the further away you go, the more divergent it becomes, not becomes.
Even if that was true, though, they would still be able to come straight down at a straight angle parallel and hit a cloud and then refract out of a drop of water and go in many different directions. So wouldn't that still be true anyway? So it doesn't really make sense to me why you would argue that.
This was debunked by Adam and that, weren't it, with Moon Shadow?
Yeah,
I'm saying I understand that we've debunked it, but I'm saying even if that was true, we could debunk it the other way too. See what I'm saying? It just doesn't hold up.
Hold on. Lev Kung Fu says Leaning Tower Pizza was made using globe mass Flatzoid perspective. Is that why it's leaning?
Yeah,
That does make sense.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, just
You know, the thing about Aaron Crustinese is that just stop using him because it's inconclusive either way. You can get the same results with what you're claiming. You get the same results with the local sun on a flat plane as well. So it's inconclusive. Stop talking about this Greek guy that didn't exist. And if you do, at least mention his faithful assistant feces. I mean, somebody had to count those steps.
Well, he did say in the beginning, though, that Aristophanes assumed these things. So at least he's being...
Yeah, I just got to correct something because gloriously train tracks diverge. Actually, no.
Can I correct that?
Glenn says train tracks converge. Train tracks are parallel.
I was just going to say that. I went on railway. They never diverge or comment. They're always parallel, mate.
Yeah, it only appears to converge into the convergence zone. It's
a bad day for trains if they did that.
It's certainly would. It'd come to a screaming halt, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that point. Yeah.
Come to a point. Yeah.
Wow.
It'd be a monorail.
He was then able to calculate the circumference of the Earth with very simple math, because parallel lines with a line through them mean this angle and this angle are the same.
So and I'll point out, do you know that's how a sextant works? It's called succession angles. Uh-oh. So when you look out with a sextant to the horizon and the sun or the star. That's why those angles are in succession and they have the same angles. So that means the parallel angles are perpendicular to your plumb. And notice that that measurement you're making to that the GP of the celestial object is on the same plane as the observer. The globies still haven't got this by now. Just had to point that out.
Angle separating the two cities is 7.2 degrees. He then had someone measure the distance between the two cities, which was about 800 kilometers.
Yeah, 530 or something. And then we ask all the time, who the hell walks 800 kilometers counting steps?
You know, perfectly
Nobody.
even ones all the way there. Perfectly even.
Without error, by the way.
Exactly.
Imagine you like walked for a month and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I gotta go restart.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I've been walking in a circle.
What happens if you get a limp? What happens if you get a limp halfway through? You'd end up walking in the circle, like Soft said.
What did he do when he gets to a crossing that he can't, like a ravine or something, he can't cross? He has to go around. How does he count those steps?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He throws a stone across the river, whatever,
Also,
X seconds, and just adds that into the calculation. It's kind of stupid.
Also, not taking into account going up hills and down into valleys and shit like that. He's not walking completely straight, is he?
Mm-hmm.
So, what a highly inaccurate method.
It's very highly inaccurate.
Maybe they had hovercraft back then.
It almost sounds too good to be true.
Just a story?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a story. A made up.
Do you remember when the flat earth and all that first came back out in 2015, stuff like that, and the social media? You used to have this thumbnail, and it was a guy on his bike says, "I did the Eratosthenes thing with 2 sticks." It used to be up all the time.
Yeah,
It used to
I remember that. Yeah,
all over the place. It was
Guy got
ridiculous.
like 8 million views or something in that first year.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he?
So because 7.2 degrees is 2% of 360 degrees, then the 800 kilometers would be 2% of the circumference of the Earth. Thus, the circumference is roughly 40,000 kilometers. And the actual circumference of the Earth is super close to that. His actual measurements gave something closer to 39,000 kilometers, but still, quite impressive.
No, not impressive at all.
No.
It's still off.
Still off. How you got a measurement out of a off calculation?
But that's what I'm saying. If it's a measurement, is it not supposed to be accurate?
Exactly.
The measurement would stay the same measurement, would it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it would.
But a calculation can change.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go back
never
further than that.
measured. So in other words, he never measured the Earth. He calculated it.
Yeah. Well, they assumed a radius from what again? They go back to the further back.
Flats,
Yeah,
can you remember arguments I've had over at weekend?
Yeah, with?
Yeah. Regarding a certain troll and claims he made about Earth being measured.
Mm-hmm.
What were my rebuttal to that? Never got answered.
Nothing.
Never got answered. Got trolled and strawmanned and blah blah blah, but never got answered ever. Got multiple soccer accounts jumping in, like never got answered.
Yeah. I wonder why. I don't think they have.
Now, 2 things to note. First, this only works if the cities are on the same longitude line.
No. You know what? This only works because you're using a horizontal baseline.
Yep.
Which means you measured Earth flat. And then you calculated your belief onto it.
What he should have said, this only works if you assume the Earth is a sphere.
That's
360 degrees.
You
That's
don't
it.
you don't just have to assume Earth being a sphere though. You've got to assume a distant sun.
Right, but it's 360 degrees. 2% of that is 7.2. That's how he got the degree. But you're assuming it's a ball of 360 degrees. That's the problem.
Yeah. But you're also assuming a distant sun as well.
Yeah.
But you're just adding on to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or calculations.
That salt ball is assumptions, like.
Balls.
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 Great balls.
Balls.
Look at my balls.
Now I
Or
know I
said
need to
another
do
way,
that.
they're
So, some Greek guy woke up one day and were like, "Oh, I've got a pair of balls between my legs, so Earth must be a ball."
Yeah.
But the thing is, my balls are oblate spheroids, just like
Are they just a tad bit pear shaped?
Just a tad.
PJ?
a bit more kidney bean
Directly
shaped, I think.
Okay.
north and south of one another. These cities are not, but they're pretty close. So that's one reason for the error along with human measurement. But second and more importantly, this does not prove the Earth is a
Wow.
sphere.
Wow.
You don't
Correct.
say.
Brilliant.
The first time I've heard a baller
Very
actually be honest about this.
Very good.
Because what do we usually get from the Globe side when they give this up? It proves the Earth's a sphere, correct?
Yeah.
The next thing he says is what the flat earthers will say.
Don't burst the bubble, man. Let's see what it says.
At least on its own, it does not prove
On
the
its
Earth's
own,
shape,
okay.
not even slightly. If the Earth were a donut, we'd still find a difference in shadow angles between two different locations at the same time. That's just gonna happen if the surface is curved. But let's say the Earth were flat. Well, if the sun is directly over one place at a certain time, where no shadows are cast, and the sun is not super far away, then also, obviously, it's gonna cast a shadow on a vertical object at a different location at that same time. So Eratosthenes' observation could also tell us the Earth is flat and the sun is much closer than we think. And that's what flat earthers believe. And now we're gonna see.
No, that's not what flat earthers believe. This I don't agree with him because what he's doing now, he's trying to place a burden onto flat earth.
Yeah.
He's gonna straw
He's
man.
trying to place it onto flat earth because now he's going to say, you see now, you guys are claiming the sun is close. So now you've got a burden to prove.
Yeah.
So he's creating a burden onto flat earth.
What do we mean by closer, like, as well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Because now he's going to say you're going to have to
rate
take
close, does it?
altitude.
I'm sure he'll get to his modus tollens soon enough.
Probably.
That will change
It
our
will-
mind.
It most likely wants to strawman an argument that I don't think most of us have made. That it's like 3,000 miles high or something.
Give me 2 minutes. Come back.
I
now.
know they always want to straw man that shit. I always tell them I don't know how far away the sun is.
Of course not.
That's your story, babe. You know.
That works on like trigonometry, I think, doesn't it? Like, and you can't like trigonometry its sun, I don't think.
And are you talking about the actual physical sun?
Well, what is sun? That's
yeah.
my question.
You're talking about the apparent sun or the
Yeah.
mean sun. What are you talking about?
What are you talking? That is a question. What you're talking about?
Well, the fact is, sun is apparent in all observations.
Yeah.
Smash that ice.
It's even apparent in a globe claim. Like when you see sun above horizon, it's already below horizon.
Yeah, it refracts up, right?
Global, right? Because of refraction.
Yeah. Can't win for losing.
Well, I'm sure they always start with the fireball, you know, like we all did.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that's, and they don't take that right down to that fundamental thing. How could it have ever formed?
Yeah, there's no oxygen there.
Well, I mean, how do helium and hydrogen molecules just decide to, hey, instead of undergoing elastic collisions, let's do something different. Let's hold hands.
Yeah,
Let's join together and
Yeah, no
become
more
a
rubber
large
bands. Hold hands
continuous
instead.
mass. I mean, it's like, oh, okay, sure. Let's just go completely against our behavior.
Right.
That's that warping and bending of Baltard minds.
Yeah.
It is. It's the gaslighting, convincing you of shit that's impossible being possible, and everything in your reality being the absolute opposite of what it really is.
I like that bit when we said, remember when all those sticky gas particles got together, formed the sun, got so massive it collapsed on itself, then burned for billions of years?
Yeah. It's just ridiculous, man. It is.
Nice.
They've taken our history and turned it into fantasy.
Yep.
They take fantasy and turn it into reality.
Yep.
And that's why you get people today that believe Star Trek will be real someday.
Oh, don't say that. Brenda will cry.
It's
don't
not.
be like that,
What?
Flat.
Don't
You'll get
ruin
Brenda crying.
Don't ruin my dreams.
We were talking about somebody who said, "Oh, I'd go to Mars, like right now." And I'm like, "What's the longest flight you ever been on?" You realize what this entails, right? Then once you get there and you bounce around, it's not going to be much different than Death Valley, except for the fact that if your suit rips, you're going to die. And you get to bounce around out there and pick up some rocks, and then what? Then what are you going to do?
And the fun's over.
Yep.
It takes 2.5
Then you
years.
realize you're all alone.
You know what makes me laugh?
Then you pray to God that they can actually get you back, and they didn't just send you on a death mission.
After you find out
or a
there's
kamikaze mission.
Freaking city.
You know what makes me laugh, and I've said this before, right? They want to leave Earth and make fun of us claiming domes and containment and that, and they want to go to Mars, and then they've got to build a container, which is most likely going to be a dome because that's how gas works. And it's hilarious.
It's weird you were saying that because I was just thinking about the Martian where he had to become he was a botanist and he had to dump his own shit, make a dome, make a tent thing, type dome thing, seal it off, and dump all his crap and all that on the ground and start growing stuff.
Yeah, you're growing potatoes in his poop, man.
We'll escape that hilarious place where all you idiots claim a dome, and we'll go to somewhere else.
Mars is a Roman god, nothing else.
Yeah, I got you with that.
Okay, that's correct.
That's funny.
Why it's wrong. We're going to use the same numbers Eratosthenes found, which anyone can find themselves, at least during the next summer solstice. But we'll assume for now the Earth is flat and the sun is close-ish. So here's Syene, which the sun is directly overhead, casting no shadows. And here's Alexandria, 800 kilometers away, where shadows cast at an angle of 7.2 degrees from the vertical. And we can use this information to find how far the sun is in this model.
No, you're calculating how far the sun is.
Yeah.
Not measuring how far the sun is.
Educated guessing.
But
I'd go against educated guessing.
But you see, this is also one thing that also bothers me. Why is it that they can be very selective? They want refraction to work for them. But as soon as you're going to claim, is that really where the sun is? Isn't it at a refracted position?
Mm-hmm.
Then they claim, oh, you're not allowed to say that. And then we say, okay, what refraction should we use? Then they want to use terrestrial refraction, which already pre-assumes their globe radius.
That's true, Slip. If someone has $4 in their pocket and someone has $2 in their pocket, you can assume they've got $6, but you don't know for sure until you look. You're assuming. It's still like a calculation. You measure it if you have a look and know for sure. Then you count it, measure it. Different.
You have to assume that Glenn's being honest with you as well, Slip.
Right.
He might have fuck all in his pocket.
He might have dark money.
It might be a fake note.
You know, because that's what I tell the bank, man. You say your checking account's overdrawn. I said, no, that's not possible. You didn't count the dark money that's there. You can't
Wait,
prove
there's
you
dark
can't
money?
prove
Oh,
that
crap.
there's no dark money. That's how we know it exists. I mean, my book balance is out. That can only mean that there's
Dark money, yeah.
Yep.
I thought it had to look fake to be real.
That's a good point, Jeff Gasser.
If we
Always a flat plane in these diagrams.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. It's crazy.
Well, this is a flat
add
Earth.
some lines, we see two similar triangles.
Oh, wow.
So we could do a ratio, but I'm just going to use the fact that this angle is 82.8 degrees. So tangent of that equals the height of the sun over 800 kilometers plus
Stop.
d.
Can we all agree that right here, right now, he's just debunked a globe Earth?
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I see 90s, and a couple
The fact he's got angles, an elevation angle, means it's not a globe.
That's not a graphic there to them, so they're not.
Remember
gonna
a few years ago, I did a thing on Mattoon where the sun shows multiple positions, just based on location.
Yep.
So it shows the sun at different altitude heights, because the sun is not I would say, at a physical place.
No.
Globies don't seem to like that, though.
That's
But
it.
there's not like out that contradicts what they believe.
I mean, maybe it is just like a thing that's because like when you walk you walk away, like, it looks like the moon's following you. Maybe it is a personal, apparent to each individual person exclusively. You know, maybe if you got towards the sun, it would move away from you. I don't know. I don't know what the bloody hell it is.
That's why Jeren postulated that personal dome thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's true, because like if I was stood at beach looking at the sun, and the guy next to me who's taller than me is looking at the sun, we both see it at different
points.
places,
Yeah, I think Flat Earth Dave actually did make a good demonstration of that once. You know, like through a window, one was looking at it from there and one's looking from there. I mean, yeah, he did do that. That was a good part. That was a good demonstration of what Michael just said. That it was a while ago. But yeah, exactly. It's a personal. I think it's a personal thing. You do see it from two different points.
That reminds me. Today I saw a brand new model of the Earth. It's the extra big globe Earth. It's multiple times the size of the globe. And that's what they're punting now. There's a conspiracy theory channel that's pushing this, that there's all these little suns above this huge ball, and they're melting this huge ball of ice. It's really weird.
Wow.
If it has ball in it, it's bullshit.
Yep.
Balls.
Well, there's something weird going on, because in this last couple years, the temperature in Antarctica has gone up considerably.
I'm happy for that.
Gone up like 50 degrees.
Hold on, Michael. You have balls, don't you?
Well, it's questionable.
Not necessarily slip. I mean, the personal dome suggests.
Okay.
Personal dome suggests a digital reality simulating globe logic. Not necessarily. I mean, it can do, I suppose, but not necessarily.
But when I spoke about that, don't mean I believe it either.
No, exactly. It doesn't mean to believe it. It's just saying it's possible.
None of us know where the sun is or what it's doing. We can all speculate.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You, as a globe earther, are still speculating, same as me.
Of course.
You don't know where the sun is slip. You don't know how far the sun away is slip. You've been told. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly haven't measured it.
I'm looking for that video.
Who's that
You know,
guy?
the sun seems to just go where it wants to. You know that?
I've had people commenting on that, that video of the guy of that SpaceX rocket. And I asked that guy the other day. I said, "Well, haven't you bothered to ask who's filming that?
Yeah.
Who's the cameraman that's filming that at that extreme angle down at it? It had to be right there." And they don't allow shit flying around.
Yeah, they got all kinds of drones. Huh?
So it's not a drone. But yeah, people say, "Oh, there was a drone." And I'm like, no, there's not a drone. It's just not real. What the hell are you having a problem with, man? They just want to believe it so badly.
It's a NASA space drone. Haven't you seen them?
Me and
yet?
Roger tore it apart the other day.
And Leo did a good job with it too. Yeah. Leo got a better shot of the guy with the phone watching it, and he's got it, and there's nothing on his phone.
No. There's a couple of them with the phones. I got
now.
pictures of that too, where you can see that it's not matching up with what they're supposedly filming.
Yeah,
Look like Mecha Godzilla grabbing that thing out of the air. So it's like, that is the dumbest shit, man. I wouldn't believe that if it was in a movie. You know, I'd be going, come on.
They do better jobs in the movie, Soft. They do.
Well, there's got to be flat earthers who've been to watch these things.
We could do better in Photoshop.
AI could probably do better. Yeah.
I mean, I'll never be able to go and watch it because I live in England, but the people over your side at pond who are flat earthers who surely could go and watch these things.
I think he's a representative of the behemoth. If you actually look at what the old Godzilla, he's under the ocean most of the time. He wakes his way up and he's coming to devour your city.
Oh yeah, man. I used to love those movies when I was a kid, man. Godzilla and all that. There'd be like
Zuki.
One channel would have a movie on every day at the same time, you know, and every week they had like a different theme. And man, I can remember, man, we couldn't wait. We'd be talking about it at school, you know, hey, this Godzilla versus Mothra is going to be on. You going to watch it? Yeah, I'm going to watch it. And we'd run home from school, get all ready, and watch the Godzilla all through Monster Week, man. Watch that shit.
Yeah, at my house, go ahead.
Yeah, I went to the theater and watched the Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. I got the chance to go in and watch it.
I did too. Me and my little brother went and saw it at the movie theater. Yeah.
Smog Monster.
That sounds
Power Rangers.
Sounds so weird.
Yeah,
me and my stepbrothers would fight over the TV whenever stuff like that was on, because we only had one black and white TV other than the one that our parents watched. So we'd fight over who got to sit in front of it.
You grew up poor too, Brian? Dang.
No, we had 2 TVs, actually 3, but you know we were only able to access one of them, so we fought over it.
Do we have anyone here who didn't?
But then next Christmas, guess what they did? They bought us all TVs of our own.
Didn't have a TV. I didn't have a TV in my bedroom till I was about 18.
Okay. But
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
pretty
good.
I think I was 14 or 15 when I got my first TV in my own room. Yeah.
I had an old one that I got from my uncle, and that, he used to fix them up and stuff, same as he did with bike. And it was like an old 60s one with a bit like wooden box sort of thing with three chink plonk chink 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 channels, and it was actually colour, but I couldn't get any kind of picture properly in my bedroom. There was no aerial. I had a coat hanger and bits of wire and all that sticking out. So I just watched one channel, fuzzy, on black and white, and I used to watch Cheers in the 80s when I was a kid, every Friday night or something. I used to love it. But I could only get one channel on it. It was terrible.
Yeah. I got 3 channels, and I watched Cheers too. And Mayday Malone was one of my favorite characters. Diane was the best. Yeah.
I love Cheers, man. I still do like Cheers. I still would watch it.
The coach was awesome, man. He always had nothing to say but the best things to say.
You remember that when he was going to studying to get his GED, or I think it was Woody was studying, and Coach was helping him and shit. And he's like, "Yeah," he says, "like you can remember stuff. I do it by putting it in a song." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." And he says, like, for instance, to remember Albania, you know, he says, "Albania, Albania, you border on the Adriatic," and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was funny, man. Coach was so funny, man. Definitely.
This was a video I did for McToon years ago. It's only 33 seconds longer, but it's about 2 sons. Because he was also trying to make this same argument that you can see this guy on the video making.
33.
Yes, Globies, I did the math there. Just to let you know.
No.
You can do math. No way.
Yeah, I did the trigonometry and the math.
No danger.
Weird,
You
eh?
can't do math. Don't lie.
Math
He
murder.
maths quite well.
Math.
Math murder.
Math. Let's be real.
Uh-huh. Music, obviously.
That's loud.
I remember them
Look,
days.
look at what my point was, okay?
Hmm.
He says, so the sun is simultaneously at many different elevations, and he's laughing. And I say, okay, but what about refraction? Look, this is what they claim.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the same sun at different heights and at the same time?
Man, how did you get those heights?
I want to make a comment, and we spoke about this before at show, but while there's Americans knocking about, right? You all speak English, yeah? In England, math is maths.
Maths, yeah.
That's English. Right?
Yeah, in South Africa too, it's maths.
Is not English.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, fellas.
Yeah. And the full word is in the full word is mathematics. So you wouldn't say mathematic, would you?
No.
We do in my country.
At least get math.
I need to. I don't think any of us actually speak English.
No.
Okay?
Look, guys,
We
you
all
can call it what
speak
you
a
want. Okay?
bastardized. We all speak a bastardized form of it. I speak American, which is a bastardized form of English.
It is, yeah.
But in all reality, man, if you heard somebody actually speaking Old English, you're saying, "Why are you quoting the Bible?" There's people that will think I've actually run lines of Shakespeare by people and told them that that's in the Bible, and they have no clue that it's not.
Wow.
Come to South Yorkshire, we probably speak most
like the Bible.
Most like the Bible around here.
Absolutely. And I'm from Scotland, northeast Scotland, and some of my words would be similar to Michael's, but not like biblically. I mean, we'd say bairns, things like that, which means
bairns,
bairns as kids, babies, that kind of thing. Paps, as in boobs, that kind of thing. Say a lot of things like that. But even where I'm from, it is, I mean, I've got Doric as my dialect, which is like a different language, but there's still bastardized English within it. So definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But in our country, in Denmark, we do say the whole word mathematics. We don't say math.
Yeah.
We say mathematic.
Oh, you say mathematique? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that plural anyway? Mathematique, just the way you say it.
French.
Spell it. Because that would in French that would be plural still, mathematique. You know what I mean?
Mathematic. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we just say that. That's what it's called here.
Okay.
Well, let's not trip over decimal points, boys.
Math semantic.
So yeah, according to the globe, the sun is never at its actual position. It's always refracted. So I find it really weird that they want to claim that we got suns in different positions, but they can't accept their sun is also in a different position by them. So this comes up to another point though. When you do this flat earth measurement and calculation, is the sun at its actual position or maybe just its refracted position?
Well, it's a hard one.
You see, they can't really say because when it came to Aristophanes, if he even existed, they didn't know about refraction in those days.
No, they did not.
No.
So
was it
they were too busy counting. They were too busy counting their footsteps to even look up, man.
Mm-hmm. So if you think about it now, today you would put refraction into the mix. Would that give a different radius value? If you didn't use terrestrial refraction that's already got your R value set.
Didn't tinfoil hat man figure out a way around that terrestrial refraction? Those telescopes did a pretty good job, didn't they?
I think it was, I don't know.
Oh, Jeff Gus said that about.
You can't do away with refraction, but there's refraction, like, what is it? Does it make things appear lower than they are, or does it make things appear higher than they are? That's what you have to understand.
But you see, the problem comes with the refraction from the globe, where they already got their radius value set in, so it's a rigged game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've already affirmed their outcome before doing anything. So they've literally rigged their calculation.
I was going to say, Jeff was saying, I learned ye old English at school. But did you learn that? Do you know when people say ye, as in ye olde, that's not actually how it's pronounced. It's just pronounced the how we say it nowadays.
It's like how we say it, the and the.
Exactly.
That
article. Yeah, but y was just back then was the sound that th makes. So it's just the same pronunciation today. The old English school, but it wasn't never pronounced ye. It's just how it's spelled. It's just the sound it made, the th sound. Just in case you didn't know.
My favourite saying, thou what?
Thou what?
Thou what?
That's it.
Okay, let's see if we can quickly go through this a bit.
But D is just the length of the shadow. This is very not to scale, but that distance might be a few feet or meters depending on the height of the building, but still nothing compared to 800 kilometers, so we can just ignore it. Then we solve this and we get the height of the sun is about 6,332 kilometers. For reference, the International Space Station is just over 400 kilometers away.
Again, that International Space Station that you're claiming at 400 kilometers isn't a place that violates natural law. Prove it's a tin can falling.
See it.
Yeah, prove it's a tin can falling around a sphere in space. Without making assumptions and just begging the question, prove it. Oh, wait, they can't.
So the sun would be about 15 times further than that in the flat Earth model. And that is a problem. Let's see why. First of all, at noon, if you're in a place where the sun is right above you, then as we found, the sun is 6,332 kilometers away from...
No, that's what you're claiming.
As we found.
Yeah, that's what he's claiming.
Who's we?
We?
You. But how far away would it be at sunset or sunrise? Well, according to this, the sun and moon never change height. They just move in a circle. And if we...
That's not true either. Again, what is it with these people using GIFs as their arguments?
Are you talking about the actual sun or the apparent sun?
He's talking about a GIF.
It doesn't. Yeah, he's talking about something that's not even real.
Isn't it funny how the word gift in English, the same word spelled the same way in Danish, means poison.
Oh.
Yeah, gift. G-I-F-T means poison.
So you're saying we should never accept a gift from you guys?
Oh,
no.
Oh, that's what you want us to think, this Lord.
No,
it's
never poison. You can keep it.
No,
So
I'm
it's
just so polite. I
actually-
don't give any gifts. I don't even want that to be thought about.
It also depends on what type of poison we're talking about. Like,
So never look a poisoned horse in the mouth.
But it made me wonder why do we have that word for poison, and it's a gift in English language.
Well, in Old
weird.
Norse, it means good luck. It's like it's that which is given.
Yeah, I'm going in the Norse. The Finnish, not so much.
We stop it here. This would be sunset in Egypt, where the sunlight is about to go away, which happens when the sun is actually over South America. Okay, so if you're in Egypt on the summer solstice at noon, then the sun is this far above your head. On that same day, at sunset, the sun is above maybe Brazil, which is, let's say, 10,000 kilometers away. Using the Pythagorean theorem, that means the sun is now 11,836 kilometers away from you. it got almost twice as far compared to noon. That means at noon, the sun should appear to be about twice as big.
What?
He thinks it's not changing angular size, so therefore it's not a local sun. Guys, tonight we have what we call the supermoon.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Should that based on the globe actually be the moon so big because of the percentage of the moon being closer? Are we having all these hectic major tides going on now? No.
No.
Are we having this huge angular size change that's incorporated to a faraway object? No. The same is literally any day. If you guys go early mornings or evenings when you actually watch a moonrise or a sunset or whatever, have you realized the sun, it gets magnified by the atmosphere?
That's where I was going to go. Rob Skiba pointed that out a while back, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. He did that too. Yeah, it
I
gets magnified.
used to have a PDF that were a study by Army that looked into the phenomena of the moon, looking big when it's setting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a phenomena that's been studied, and they don't really know.
It works like a Fresnel lens.
They just don't really know what's going off. But obviously, it's atmo, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the reason why you get burns on your yard sometimes, because it burns, because it refracts just right, and it heats up certain spots and it kills the grass. It actually does that.
Gravelax.
Refractive gravelax. That's real.
It does
That's
it
a real
all.
thing.
If you look at that sunset video I filmed with solar filter, I had to take it off because sun were disappearing. I couldn't see it hardly at all with solar filter. I had to take it off. You know, it was getting smaller and smaller and smaller with solar filter, like to the point where I could barely see it. I had to take it off, and then it was big again.
Yeah, because it got too dim.
Are you kidding, Slip? You didn't know Michael was English?
Of course I'm English.
No, Michael's French, man.
Come on, dude. You must know that. It's because I said to him, I said to Slip that a lot
I thought
of
he
people,
was Mexican, man.
a lot of people meet.
I could pull off.
I thought he was African.
Hello, I can as well. Hello, my name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
But no, I was saying to Slip, a lot of people get me and Michael mixed up, even though I'm English. Sorry,
I don't
he's
understand
English,
that,
and I'm
When
Scottish.
I went to Turkey, everybody thought I was a native.
No shit. Yeah, you have a swarthy complexion about you too. You're kind of dark eyes, dark hair, and yeah.
If I went to Pandora, you know, where the Avatar is, you know, that movie, I think I'd fit in there because I'm from Northeast Scotland and I'm pale blue. So I think I'd fit in there just nicely.
But Michael, ain't you just white and Asian or something like that? Mostly
No,
white.
debate
I hear
about,
laughter in the background.
debate about
Yeah.
PJ is not short for Peter John. It's Paul Joe. It's hyphenated. I've got my first. It's not two names. It's a double barrel name. Paul hyphen J-O. Paul Joe.
PJ. Liv has a video with the moon changing angular size. That's moonset. There we go. Shout out to Liv.
I remember when he put this up. Yeah.
Moonset. So I found this picture, which is quite good. You can see, you know, I mean, there's several obvious things that, you know, I mean, it kind of kills out, and you can see how it goes into the distance.
Subscribe to Liv, guys. There's the link in the chat.
Is quite globe destroying, really. You know, there are a few things to point out. It's kind of like you can see moon. You know, I mean, rest of them you can't. So is it like just anything to do with the time lapse? So it's not capturing. I don't know. You know, what I mean, or is it simply the time of light, time of night, and stuff?
Just pause it 1 minute. You can clearly see that's moving away and not going behind the curve. It's like that is.
You can even see the reflection above. You can see the reflection above the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they
Yeah,
get
this-
mad at you for this video when Lev first did it?
Probably
They
that
were-
is.
Yeah, I think Let's premiered it
Oh,
on
it says
his
there's
channel.
another one. Okay, it says it's not this one. It says it's the other one, 5 years
Well,
ago.
that is a brilliant video. That
But
one.
that's a really good one there. Mm,
Who had a problem with it?
Ballers.
Yep. The regular ones, you know.
Wah, wah, wah.
let's see if I can find it. It says 5 years ago. Okay.
They're all talking about his names and like him being Ebo and that.
Sorry,
Like,
yeah,
do you know why I'm called Michael after my grandma's cat?
Yeah. Can I just say, can I just say, sorry.
Oh, I can't wait till we get off the air.
I hope she loved that cat at least.
The ones I've been sending.
Apparently, we're gay.
Oh no.
Debatable
You're a
Dave, the
pussycat.
messages I've been sending to Grigori to Slip are meant for you. Sorry, dude. The ones I sent to Slip was meant for you, Grigori.
So you're named after a gay cat. That's messed up, bro.
Bad,
That's-
isn't it? It's bad, like, but I can take it on chin, Sav.
I think it's funny though. I mean, I tell people.
Wait, how is the
yeah,
cat
I was
gay?
named after a gay cat. You know,
How is the cat gay though?
We'll just stick to gay
Tomcat,
meaning
and it
happy.
used to go after all tomcats. That
Oh.
makes it gay.
Yeah. We'll just interpret it as a happy cat.
happy cat.
I'm an happy Michael, don't you worry. And I try to stay away from men's bums.
I mean, I've seen cats kicking the crap out of each other, but I don't think I've ever seen them doing the other thing unless there was a female around. You know, maybe I'm wrong.
First time I ever saw that, man, I was a kid. I was delivering papers, and it was really cold
Oh, boy.
outside, snow, and it had just snowed. Right, we'd had a snowstorm, and I thought it was a baby crying, and I was like, "Oh my God, somebody's left a baby outside somewhere," you know. And so I followed to where it was at, and I come around the corner. It was these two cats was getting at it, boy. I'll tell you, I was like, "Oh, sorry." They
I
both
know
took
what you
off
mean.
running. I was like, "Oops."
I've tried that many
No,
times.
that's I don't like that sound. It's
Oh yeah.
no, it's crazy.
I don't
Sound.
like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay.
Gray and gay.
Wait, frogs are gay now too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know the frogs are gay?
I saw some out here. They was having.
You guys make up your damn mind.
They was having drag frog story hour to the tadpoles over here in the pond. I was like, oh my God.
But I think people forget that some frogs and some reptiles can actually change gender if needed. If they don't have one of the other gender
Yeah.
around, change.
I am aware of that, but I wasn't aware it was that common, but maybe I was wrong.
So guys, we ended the poll on 93 votes. Do you think any Globers will try to change our mind? 32% says yes, let's do this. They never showed up.
Well, Luca must have been that percentage.
He tried.
Maybe they were expecting their friends and their friends didn't show.
Yeah. And then no, because there is no globe, 68%. Ooh.
Absolutely.
Well,
But I agree,
70%
there's
is
definitely
better
no.
than, worse.
I
Sorry, I was
do
going to
agree.
say
There's
Michael.
definitely no globe, guys. So,
Michael Roger, what did you say?
I gotta say, technically, a globe is real. I have one, but we don't live on one. Okay.
yeah, you
I
get
was gonna
those
say-
model globes, those toy globes. Exactly. Those exist,
Yeah.
tangible. But
Wait, why does mine have a
you live
disclaimer
on
at the
a
bottom?
globe.
Yours has a disclaimer on it.
Yeah, you haven't seen
Not
them?
used, yeah, not
Says
used
do not use for navigation.
for navigation.
Mine says, "Warning: may cause retardation."
Well, they're just
That's
teaching
an
aids,
interesting
aren't they?
sticker there.
Well, like, so you don't have to like skim through loads of pages or atlas or whatever. You just spin the globe and point to what you're teaching. That's what I understood it to be when I was at school.
Yeah.
Like a teaching aid.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have any closing
Oh, you think
statements?
they just spun it and then wherever they happen to land on it, that's what they talk about?
No, like, but instead of like teach having a big book full of different pages of different places and saying, I'll just show you where Africa is with 1 minute while I scroll through 50 pages of book, they just turn globe round and say that's where Africa is, and then they turn it round and that's where Australia is, and it's a teaching aid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, better than having a full atlas. They have to break it out and open it.
Well, yeah, it kind of makes sense than having it. Well, I always think the big map that they drop down in the middle of class was always the easiest because they got a big old pointer to go on it too.
Well, in England they used to braille it pointer.
Well, they used to. We had these maps that were up by the blackboard, and there were different ones you could pull down. There was Europe, there was the United States, you
Yeah,
know,
and then there was like the world
pull
map
them-
too. Yeah.
pull them down. And I remember the teacher always had this long wooden stick with a little rubber tip on the end of it that he used to point at shit on there.
Yeah, that's what they used to braille us with.
Yeah, we even had some that had.
Yeah, that's the one they'd whack us in the back of the head with when we were walking away when we made funny jokes and or made some dirty comment when we were up there.
Hold your hand out, boy. What?
I know, you're always going to pull it. You're always going to pull it.
There's nothing more interesting than having a nun smack you on the hand with a ruler. It's very interesting.
Okay, do you guys have any closing statements to make?
Excellent evidence, Globies. Thanks for the thanks for that. It's enlightening, and I'll think about it, and maybe I'll turn into a Glober because of that evidence. You never know.
Like I've always said, only place globe exists is in chat and comment sections.
Yeah, good stream. That's all I can say about it.
Almost convinced that horizontal's curved. Almost.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael, your turn.
I've done it.
I know, I'm kidding. I was just messing with you because of what PJ said earlier.
I mean, don't you agree with Sean Hawkins that all the surface of horizontal surface is curved?
Oh,
how could you not agree with something like that?
I know.
I mean,
it's crazy.
My question is, if you do agree with that, what does that make you? Does that make you crazy, or does it make you
mental?
Yeah,
it means you should go. Let me put it this way: the day you think of horizontal curves, go to the head doctor, please. Go get yourself medical assistance because something's wrong.
Yeah, slip. It was meant for a debatable day. It's about my name. Josiah thing is about my name. That's all.
So the real definition of level is having no part higher or lower than the other, by definition.
Yeah.
Well, it requires you to use lines, and lines are defined as straight things that don't have any curves in them. So that would probably be the truth. Yeah, probably.
And to quote the great Saab that an arc is not a line. So
no,
exactly. It's not. It's called an arc. That's why they call it an arc.
Why they call it an arc and not a line? They have different terminology for these things.
Yeah, but definitions mean fuck all to these idiots.
They try to twist shit around. They always trying to twist shit around to match what they
There's
want.
rays. Don't forget about rays. That means they start in one point and they go, but they're still straight too.
Radiate.
One thing would change my mind. Will Duffy, give me a couple million, or give me some money and I'll build a rocket ship, or I'll have some professionals build a rocket ship, take me to so-called space. If I see a ball when I'm up there, I'll believe all the bullshit, because I will have seen it with my own eyes. But that would change my mind.
Duffy ain't got the money. It's the government, obviously.
I know.
Well, I've been 40-something thousand feet, and I can tell you there ain't no curve even at that height. So I don't know what else. I don't know how much higher you got to go, but.
Well, I've been 37. I've never seen no curve. I said it to people. Yeah, I've been in the plane. I've seen the curve. I've never seen no bloody curve. It was just what I've been indoctrinated into thinking.
Yep.
It was the window. It was the window.
It could have been the window because they're curving at the edges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they curve this way, obviously, because they're conforming to a bloody tube.
When the right, like going back before I'd even heard of this debate, right? I went on an aeroplane looking for curve.
No.
I went on an aeroplane drinking beer and having a laugh with my mates and
No, but
looking out the window and thinking, wow, we're eye open, you know. But I went looking
yeah, but
for
even looking
a
out though,
curvature.
but even looking out though, did you ever think, wow, look at that beautiful curve? Because you didn't see any curve.
No.
Never even come into my mind.
No, if I looked out, I used to think, wow, it looks like I can walk in them clouds. I used to think,
I rode back and forth every summer from my dad's to my mom's, halfway across the United States, from Missouri to California every year. And for a long time, I would sit by there and I would say the exact opposite. I would say, how come it looks so straight and flat, but yet they claim it's a big ball? And they'd all go, I don't know. Every person would always say they don't know. They never get mad at me. They just ask me. They just say, I don't know. I wonder. I was asking them, like, how far do you have to go up before you can see the curve? And they always go, I don't know.
I know it's so.
That's all their answer was. They just look at me and go, I don't know. They just like, I have no clue.
And we think our parents, when they say they don't know, what do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I don't think a majority of people even have that in the mind when they're on an airplane looking out the window. They're not thinking about balls and flat planes and.
I did. I questioned everything.
You might have done, like, but I don't
Over
think
and over.
majority of people are like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay. So,
remember-
are you guys ready to do now closing statements?
We've done it.
we're done.
Yeah, we're done already. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So PJ has a show, Roger has a show, Ryan has a show, and Solve.
I might have a show. We'll see.
Yeah, me, and Michael's got a reaction stream to do
We've
tomorrow.
got a show tomorrow. Get ready.
Yeah.
Nice.
9 a.m. GMT.
You'll see us around.
It's called Pride Cometh Before a Fall. That's all.
That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, guys, remember tomorrow night we will be having an hour stream, and then I'll be going over to Kingdom in Context afterwards at 10 Central African time.
Nice.
So make sure to come join and support Sean as well, because it's going to be an exciting discussion. We're going to be discussing the Trinity. So yeah, thanks guys all for coming. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate all the super chats, all the likes, all the shares. If you haven't already, hit the likes.
Hit it.
Really, really does help. Until tomorrow, many, many blessings. May the pressure with you. Cheers.
Bless.
Bye, guys.
Crafted signs of the divine. I'm made for something true.
Why is it freezing?
In God's plan, my path renews.
It's cold.
Flat earth made by Him. My journey long yet thin. Purpose found in every day. Guided by His gentle sway.